Hello, everyone. How are we all doing? Classic 80s fanboy here. Now, today, as you can see, probably on the description below, if you look below, down on the bottom in my description, I had a bit of a nightmare today with this computer. And it all stemmed from the other day. So after I finished doing a live, the computer popped up, a little bubble window popped up and said I needed to update my BIOS. So, and it said an update was available. So I thought, I better go on and do that. So I went and updated it. And as I updated it, all of a sudden, at one point, everything all came on. The driver was acting up. The driver came on. The fan was going off. And the screen was bright as anything. And the BIOS thing appeared in the corner there. And I thought I've never had that experience before. Bearing in mind, this is a brand new computer. I haven't had it long. And all of a sudden the screen went off and it stayed off. And I was there waiting and waiting and waiting. Must have been a good 10, 15 minutes and the screen never came back on. So I went onto the HP website because it's an HP computer and I looked up all their help that I could have on it. And with all the help in the world and the will in the world, it still wouldn't come back on. So I thought one of the things it says is to plug it into another monitor. So my wife is working next door. She has her own monitor. So I thought I'd use that and set that up. And I tried to, and it wouldn't even signal, wouldn't even go through. So this was a weird one. I looked down on the instructions again and it says find another computer to create a USB stick with the proper upgrade on there so you could transfer it over onto your computer. So I asked the wife and she very handily found her little, because I bought her little portable computer about 5 years ago. It's not very big, it's only about that big. I'm just trying to look at my hands at the screen. It's only about that big. And she plugged it in and I was charging it up and getting ready to use it. And all of a sudden I saw this flash boot blocked come up on the screen. I was like, oh my God, what's going on there? So I left it, what I thought was switched on, and I just left it alone. And lo and behold, within 30 minutes, the screen came back up again. It reloaded itself, and then all of a sudden it said uploading in progress, and it got to 100% and then rebooted itself and started back up again. So, nightmare over, because it's about £350 computer. Nightmare over. So yeah, that was a good thing. So if you're wondering what I'm wearing tonight, this thing I'm wearing is fleece lined. It's a lot of fleece line, and it's called a cuddly. And what it does, it's basically a blanket. It's a blanket you can wear. So I thought I'd wear this tonight. It's not very hot out here. The temperature this morning when I looked out in the car was only 7 degrees centigrade. So I thought, well, it's getting colder now. We're not going to try and have the heating on. We're going to, because of what's going on in the government and the energy crisis and the pushing all the bills up. So what we've decided to do is not put the central heating on only until it gets to between 1 and 2 degrees, because we don't want the pipes, obviously we don't want the pipes freezing, because if the pipes freeze and burst, that's even more problems. So we're going to wait until it drops even further. It won't freeze at 7 or 6 degrees, and we'll check the temperature tonight before going to bed to make sure what temperature it's going to hit overnight. And if it hits a little over 1 degree, 2 degrees, that's totally fine. We're happy with that because it won't freeze over. It won't freeze over, fingers crossed. So yeah, this is, as I said, this is called a cuddly. The wife brought me one. It's in blue and it's like a really lovely soft. Oh, I've got to stop playing with it. It's really soft. It really is really soft. And as I say, it's got a fleece lining, and as I say, it saves us putting on the heating at the moment and allows us to carry on as we are. because it really is nice and warm. I can't recommend to get for you guys. If you've got 35 pounds to spare, go and get yourself one, because you'll be thanking your lucky stars later you've got something like this to keep you nice and warm. I wouldn't knock it. I would always recommend to get something like this. If it's going to keep you warm, get it. And hopefully you won't suffer. Like, hopefully we won't. Okay, so more MOTU goodness. I said I was going to get some. Oh, before we get there, let's talk about the elephant in the room. We're going to talk about character options, Doctor Who figures. At the moment, I'm done. I'm out. I can't pay £21 for 3 figures. I'm trying to think this, put it politely. I can't pay for another 3 variants of figures that I've already got figures of. So I'm not paying £21 for another 3 David Tennant 10th Doctors when he hasn't been in the show for the past 10 years. And I can't pay for another 3 Paul McGanns when I've already got 2 War Doctors. I've got 2 of them McGann, not the Doctor figures. And I only need one out of the 3, which is the TV movie Paul McGann. I'm not paying £21 for that. No thanks. I'm going to give that a miss. So I'm not interested. I'm not going to get the fear of missing out. I've already gone through that. I just can't be bothered with it anymore. That was the last straw for me. As I said on other sites, they need another toy company to take the Doctor Who brand on and go into competition with them, because at the moment they have the weird free for all on all Doctor Who action figures, and literally they've got the monopoly on all of it. So and they're saying that everything's gone up in price. Well, yeah, everything has gone up in price. I'm not going to dispute that fact. I'll be the first one to say yes, everything's gone up in price, but I'm not paying £21.99 for 3 figures that I don't really need. And if I move to this side, as you can see behind me, I've got a load of figures anyway. They're all full. That shelf is all full, and I've got a lot of the TARDISes there anyway. The majority of them. There's 2 I haven't got, which is the electronic Tom Baker 4th Doctor TARDIS and the electronic 7th Doctor TARDIS. I think it's Sylvester McCoy. No, he's the 7th Doctor. Yeah. So those are 2 that I haven't got, the electronic ones, and I'm not forking out any more money. I'd rather put it towards what I've done, and I'll show you later, is I haven't got it yet, is my Big Chief 10th Doctor, which I've already done a video about, so please look up in my video section, and I'll have all the videos that I have there. I have the 10th Doctor figure there. I've now purchased. What happened was I had a pair of David Tennant 10th Doctor, comes with a pair of glasses as well as 3D glasses. But these normal glasses, I must have been taking them off his face to put back in the packaging. They fell on my floor. My floor's laminate, hard laminate. So what happens when resin touches laminate from a height? Snaps. So mine snapped in half. Now I contacted Big Chief Studios and asked whether I could get a replacement. Now they didn't have any replacements. And now, funnily enough, they have replacements, but you've got to buy it in a bundle. You've got to buy it with his electronic, with his water pistol, his see-through water pistol, and River Song's diary, open and close, the 2 fob watches that I had, his sonic screwdriver, and the 3 little adipose that came with it. You've got to buy all that as a bundle. And to buy all of that was £60. So it's a costly mistake. It's a costly accident, but I needed to make sure that the glasses were intact, because those 2 figures are going, when I move on and settle and move on from this mortal soil, those 2 figures are going to belong to my sons, to which I dearly hope they keep holding them, because they're going to be worth hundreds, if not thousands of pounds later on. They're the equivalent of Hot Toys, really, if I think about it. So I'm hoping to make sure that I've got all the sets that I need with those actual figures and the accessories, so that they can be looked after. So I needed to make sure that those glasses, because I had the original glasses that were split in two, and I tried gluing them together, and the resin just doesn't glue. The glue doesn't hold the resin together. It just splits. And if you look down the middle, you'll see it that they look mushed. So, yeah, I've had to go and buy another pair of glasses as a replacement, but in the meantime, I have to pay £60 for another pair for the whole pack, for the whole bundle, which included those specific glasses. So I'm going to end up with extras, accessories. But thinking about it, I can always put them on eBay. Somebody's always going to be wanting accessories that have, because they could end up like my situation where they've broken parts of their accessories, and I've got extras that I can sell on. So I'm not worried about that too much. So the MOTU goodness, what I've got to report. I bought another 2 MOTU figures. They're the Origins figures. They are Skeletor and He-Man, and I'll show them to you in a minute. But it was a funny story because I went on Amazon. I wasn't intentionally going to buy these figures because I don't like the head sculpts on them. For some reason, the Skeletor looks like he's gonna start crying at any minute, or he's that enraged. He looks like he's gonna break down in tears. And the He-Man, I didn't. When I was a kid, I didn't have the battle armor Skeletor or He-Man. I didn't have them. I can remember having the Cobra Khan. That's when you press the head and the water squirts out. I can remember having that, and I can remember having certain figures, but I didn't have any of the vehicles as opposed to what I've got now. I mean, I've got vehicles galore and I've got figures galore as well. I've got more figures than what I ever had when I was a child, and I never even had Castle Grayskull. So I thought I'd spoil myself this time and get Castle Grayskull because I am an 80s kid. So, so these came up. The first one was, and I had to get, was Skeletor, because I looked on Amazon and I looked on the prices. Now, the prices of this Skeletor was 16. Oh, sorry about that. The prices of this Skeletor was 16.99, but looking on other, because there's like a box below, you can look at other prices, other prices within Amazon, and one came up, and one was there for £8.99, and it was brand new, and it was in packet. So I thought I'll get that, and I pressed on the button, and I managed to get it for £8.99. So where these figures are usually between £15 and £18, this was a deluxe set, and this cost me £8.99, £9. So I thought I'm going to grab him, and I did. But there are issues with them, and I'm going to go talk through them in a bit. So hold on, I will talk through them. And then I thought, well, I can't have one without the other. So I went and looked online, and I found the He-Man. It was going for something like £12.99, and by the time you add on tax and postage back in, you're looking at £15. So I thought I'd pick him up as well, because you can't have one without the other, So the first one we're going to look at is Skeletor. I'm going to show him to camera. This was Skeletor, but look at his face. He looks so sad. He looks like he's going to cry. Yeah. But these are the accessories he comes with. I mean, he does come with another head, but one thing I have found is his head is really floppy. Very, very floppy. I mean, even this was come straight out of the packet. So even with the other head on, it's still floppy as hell. There's something that's happened, whether this was a fault in the figure, but his head is just, I can wiggle it back. I can wiggle it back and forth if I shake him. His head just flops all over the place. But I do like this feature. Now, the feature of this is that you're supposed to use striking action, but I don't. I just use my finger and you tap it. it moves. I'm getting to move. You gonna move? Yeah. So you move, tap him once, he gets 1 strike. Tack him in again, he's got 2 strikes and he's out. Flick out. And all you do to just move it back is stick your thumb in, both thumbs in, and just move it. And you can move it up, and it goes back to the original again. Goes back to the original again. But I've got no intention of just keep bashing that, because you can damage the spring on the inside. The more you do it, the looser the spring becomes, and it will lose its springiness eventually, which is what happened to a lot of 80s Skeletors apparently, and He-Man battle armors. They lose their spring ability. The spring fails. But what he does he comes with his Havoc staff, his Ram's Havoc staff, Ram head, and this time he comes with a shield. So I've put a shield. He's got his skeleton shield, which I thought was quite nice looking. It's basic plastic. It's nothing to write home about. There's no adornment on there. It's not silver or anything. There's no bolts on it. It's just a normal plastic. And he does come with an extra hand. So there's his hand. He comes with an extra hand. He's got an open hand. There. They're quite small, so I'm going to have to hold it up. There's his extra hand there. Okay. And I'll show you his other head. This is his other head. It's a smiling one. So he looks a little bit happier this time. There you go. It's more in focus. He's got a smiling head. Yeah. Of course, what I do like about these figures is that you can pull the body off. The body comes apart. Although I don't think it does on this one. The arms come off. You can replace the arms. And obviously the head pops off. Which, if you give me a second, I will show you. So you grab the head, give it a pull, and there you go. His head comes off, but that's the problem. The problem is the ball joint in here is so loose, it just wiggles all over. It wiggles all over the place. See, it's so floppy, and that could be the problem with a lot of these figures. A lot of these battle armor figures, the head must be really floppy, because inside here, let's take this bit off so I can show you. Of course, inside here, you've got a spring mounted system. So inside the body, it must be, most of the body must be taken up with the spring system. Yeah. So this can, obviously when you push it in, it twists around. So you haven't got really much room to put the ball jointed head in, the ball jointed neck piece. So that's probably why there's nothing controlling the stability of it in there. It turns, but it seems to be very. Oh, it's turned up now. I've just turned it. Oh, that's much better. Oh, all I needed was the head to be turned, the peg to be turned in, and it's tightened up. Oh, that's handy. Which one do you reckon looks better? Do you reckon the smiley face? Do you reckon that one, the smiley face? Or do you reckon the one where he looks, well, he doesn't look, he looks angry? No, I think the angry one would be the best one. And it clips on. Yeah, that's much better. He's more sturdy now. Well, that's good to know. His head's not as floppy, so perhaps the same with E-Man then. So as I say, there's the Rams. staff in it. Yeah, his staff, Havoc staff, and it just goes in his hand quite nicely. There, they do stand up rather great. I mean, as you can see up there, there's no trouble in them falling off because they're quite sturdy up there. Because you've got no problems with them falling off at all. I'm really happy with the way they stand. So there's Skeletor, just stand him up there. And the next one I got was He-Man. And the same with He-Man, he's got a floppy head, so I might pull that off and twist it around in a minute, but he's got the same design, how you tap it and it turns. You know, there you go. And then again, there's twice. So it happens with that one as well. Same system. The original battle armor, which I wish I had a photograph, but I haven't, or a picture to show you. The barrel runs all the way along his chest, so it would start here and finish here. It would run all the way along his chest. So for some reason they've made it smaller. I don't know why, but yeah. So he can't take. I mean, normal on normal. Just bog standard He-Man, his middle will come off, but on these, looks like the middle doesn't come off. On any of them, looks like they've been glued in. So they do turn, but you just can't take the middle off as what you would do with normal figures. So both Skeletor and He-Man come with Skeletor comes with his half of the power sword. He-Man comes with his half of the power sword, and that's the one that you can put together. So I've put it both together and given it to He-Man so that he can be the master of the universe. So that's how basically Master of the Universe started. The intention from the toy line was to basically that was the story. Each hero and villain would have one half of the power sword, so that whoever gained the complete power sword in the end would become Master of the Universe. So that's why He-Man and Skeletor were always at war with each other. When Mattel gave I did a filmation and said we're going to make a toy line when they make a cartoon. They slightly changed the story to make it more palatable for young kids and young children. So the story changed, but that was the original storyline. Was the fact that you had two halves of power sword that came together to form the sword of power. Yeah. So he doesn't have a shield this time. He does come with a battle axe as well. So there's his battle axe. It's not. It's just a silver one. His original one, the Wave 2 version of He-Man that I've got, was a different grey. This was more a silver, and it's not as. It's about the same, I think. This is done in a silver colour, and the accoutrement and the blades look the same as well, just in a different colour. Right, and he does come on another hand as well. So he comes with that open hand as well. But him and Skeletor in the battle armor are the two only figures of the line that now come with both hands that are grabbing in a grabbing position. So you've got a grabbing hand here on this hand, and then you've got a grabbing here on this hand. All right. So let's see what we're going to do is I'll pop his head off because he comes with another head as well. And I'll just show you this one briefly. This is the original look to He-Man. Not the original look in the 80s, but the new original look for the Origins line. But the problem is that you can see he looks shell-shocked. He looks very shell-shocked. If you put him in a certain pose here, he looks like Skeletor's jumped out at him, you know. So he's got quite a shocked look on his face. So I'm so glad I didn't use this one, and I've gone to use the original, you know. As I said, that's the one I'm using, the original headed version. Yeah, because I so much prefer that. So what I'm going to do now is just pull his head off and see if by turning it, it tightens up like the other one does. I wouldn't say it has. I wouldn't say. I'm going to turn it and pulling it would help. Now it's turned up a little bit. So just turning it around a little bit has tightened it up. Obviously not as tight as Skeletor's though. But what we'll say is Mattel are not really interested in the quality control, really. I'll show you here. Look in there, you can see the top of the neck piece is not joined up very well. There's a massive gap of about a millimetre between the neck joins, and that's probably what's loosened up the or loosening up the ball joint in the middle. As I move the ball joint, the neck piece does expand a bit, which means I don't think it was quite properly sealed. The rest of it's fine. The bodies seem to be okay. Let's pop the head back on here now and see if that's made any difference. What I'm going to do is just pop his head back on. Well, it's not exactly loose, but it's not exactly tight either. It's mediocre, so its head can stay there. It still feels a little bit loose, but I think that's the best we're going to get it. But as I say, he does come with his power sword and another pair of hands, which is handy. So yeah, that's the only figures I've got. I have got another figure on the way, which is like a replacement for a figure that I've already got. So it's going to be a brand new figure in her packet, because when I got her, and that's a little hint, when I got her, she was second hand and she was missing a shield and a sword, and I paid £17 for a 3D print from the Netherlands to get a replacement sword. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take off her cloak and her skirt bits so she can become like another character. I don't want to go into too much detail about it. I want to leave it as a bit of a surprise because, as I said, I haven't got figure in hand yet, so I can't explain what I want to do with it. But I want to make her into another version of who she's supposed to be. Okay, so that'll be for another video. I've gone on for almost half an hour. It's amazing how time flies. Thanks for watching. I feel mentally okay. You're never 100%, as I said, you never 100% get over PTSD. You still have it. I just want to quickly show you before I go. As a quick reminder, still keep your journals up. And I've kept mine up, so I've still put my thoughts and feelings in there. That's my latest one. I'm not going to let you read it. I'm just going to hold it back so you can't see it. But just to let you know, I'm still keeping up a journal. There's no reason why you can't. I put my negative thoughts on there as well, and it does help, because every time I go into work now, I'm in a new frame of mind, and it helps. It really does help. So, anywho, thanks for watching. Take care of yourselves and each other. Keep an eye on each other. Now the colder weather's coming in, and we'll get through this. We always will. Let's see how we go. Oh, what comments coming up? Let's have a look. Yeah, hello, Gobby. How are you? Hope you're well. Yes, as I said, keeping a journal really does help. You need to keep a journal because rather than letting all your nasty thoughts keep inside your head and making everything fogging up your mind, when I get thoughts down on paper, it clears my head. So I've got more things that I can retain. Sometimes my judgment can be a little bit foggy, and my memory does as well. Especially, I was on All Things 80s channel the other. This was before Christmas. I was talking to All Things 80s about it, and I was saying that I've lost a lot of memories of childhood. So a lot of toy lines I've forgotten about that I can't remember. It's one of those things that happen. It's one of them things that happen with PTSD. My long-term memory's gone. You do some meditation. Well, I don't go. I don't go that far. My wife used to be a practicing Buddhist, and yeah, she used to do meditation as well. But ever since she suffers with fibromyalgia, she can't sit down quietly now without her body being in an awful lot of pain. So she she doesn't do that anymore. But it's good to know you're doing meditation. Basically, at the end of the day, whatever you do helps. Whatever you do, you feel will help you. You do, and I hope the family are okay and the kids are well. All right. But anyway, yeah, no, that's fine. That's fine. She started a TikTok channel now. My wife. The next time I'm on, I'll post details about her TikTok because she deals a lot with. But she's a book reader. She's a bookworm basically, and she can read about 70, 80 books a week. She can really read. She retains the memory as well. So yeah, she reads a lot of books. So when I'm next on, I'll give you her TikTok details because she's, as I said, she started her own little book review on TikTok now of horror stories she's talking about at the moment, and makes them all pretty. And she does a better job at editing than I do. Yeah, she does an absolutely fantastic job. Yeah, so she's into her horror books, so she's writing about that. Anyway, I'm going to have to go because I've been rambling on for half an hour. But take care, everybody. I will speak to you later. Thanks for joining me. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe. That all does help. And the next video, I'll let you know when it'll be, and I'll put a little thing on YouTube to let you know when it'll be. This is just a bit of an impromptu, knowing the fact I've got my computer up and running now. Okay, so take care of yourselves, have fun, and I'll see you on the next one. Cheerio.